Breaking news, Justin Baldoni just got a big win, meaning Blake Lively got a big loss. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. So excited to have Greg Dahl back, attorney at law. Welcome back, sir. How you doing?
Great to be back, Andy. Good to see you.
You had such a great appearance. Fans were like, bring him back, bring him back. And thank you for rushing this in, guys. He's like busy, but we had breaking news pop in, and Greg was nice enough to help explain these new subpoenas that have been denied. This came in from Judge Lyman. Now, for those just understanding, so just give the recap, and then I want to get your legal sort of understanding. From the way I've read these new subpoenas that came in previously, Team Blake was trying to basically ask for like 2.5 years worth of cell phone records, everything, location, all this data, which felt very evasive. Justin's team tried to squash that. Well, the judge has written back this long sort of information back, etc., but basically coming down to say, yes, Baldoni, you're right. We have squashed the subpoena. The reach was too big, and therefore they agreed that the ruling, they squashed the extent to seek the phone records of Wayfarer. The ruling is without prejudice. Live parties, several modified subpoena. They basically said, listen, it's ridiculous that you're asking for all this stuff because you're asking for 2.5 years, but you claim the retaliation started in August of this summer. So why on earth would you need all that time? That's the gist I got. Greg, can you elaborate from your legal perspective? Maybe I'm missing something. Is this truly a win for Justin and a loss for Blake?
Buckle up. This legal face-off wastes no time throwing punches. Judge Lyman didn't just deny Blake Lively's subpoena. He dismantled it. Her demand for Justin Baldoni's phone records from over 2 years, down to GPS and messages, was scorched as unjustified and wildly overbroad. The court saw right through the legal smoke. Why chase 2022 records when Blake herself claims retaliation started in August 2024? It smelled more like a power move than a real case strategy. And the judge called it what it was: legally flawed and factually unsupported. Justin's team didn't just win this round. They left with receipts and momentum. This decision wasn't about protecting privacy. It was about protecting process. A brutal, clean takedown in the first act.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Exactly. It was every cell tower, every cell company, subpoenas to everybody. They wanted all records. And they even were trying to take shots at Justin, like, well, it could be mistresses or psychiatry. Like, it was weird the way they were sort of trying to slight him, which, again, why are you doing that if you don't want to be doing it to you? There's a lot of this sort of like Blake complaining that they're evading the privacy. They're doing all this. But then meanwhile, right, she's on Saturday Night Live with Ryan making jokes, hitting back. I mean, is it not a little hypocritical? Is this a bad look of her if she's trying to tell the courts that we should stop talking about this in public?
Yeah, well, I think this was the equivalent of a swing and a miss, right? I think they went for a home run, they make a big swing, and they completely missed the ball. I think they're going to get sent back to the drawing board. This is not going to be the end of it. You're going to see that there's going to be more. In fact, the judge invites them to do more. But they're going to have to come and do actually some real legitimate discovery, which is what they should have done at the outset, which is tailor it to what they really think they need and start with a subgroup of what they could ask for and get that first and see if that leads to other stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. I go through this doc because I'm just trying to understand the reaching and what they can actually get. The Wayfarer object to the fact that even as modified, the subpoena continues to cover call text logs revealing the phone numbers for anyone with whom Wayfarer parties and others individuals communicated. It's absurd that they were going on this level. Now, let's go to the other side, though. Let's be fair. Blake's whole argument is, well, I need to know who they were retaliating with. I don't know who's in their arsenal and what these people are. Like, does she have any point there where the judge should maybe say, well, that's how are we going to learn if there was deep rooted, hard to find retaliation if they aren't able to actually subpoena these records?
Yeah. So I think one of your viewers pointed this out last time. There are steps to do this. And what you could do is you could serve what's called interrogatories, which are written requests for information. And you could say, give me everybody that you spoke to about this particular issue, right? And you could get a list of names.
Round pushpin part 2. Things spiral fast for Blake's side. Her legal team just got schooled by the court for what the judge called subpoena, so broad it could ensnare half of Hollywood. Blake wanted everyone in Justin's orbit: therapists, business partners, friends, maybe even the Uber driver. But in legal terms, this wasn't strategy, it was a shotgun blast. The judge was surgical. Discovery must be targeted, not invasive. And this request was flat out reckless. You can't demand the world and expect the court to nod along. The ruling makes it crystal clear. The courtroom isn't your playground. It's a place for precision. The message? Come back when you're serious. Right now, Blake's team looks more like they're throwing darts in the dark than building a case.
And of course, there's always going to be gamesmanship, and maybe they're not going to tell you everybody, but they're going to tell you a lot of people. Let's say they're going to tell you a dozen people, right? Or let's say they'll tell you 20 people. You can start with those 20 people and see what you got and see if that leads to additional and see if you got stuff missing. There are ways to do that. They didn't do that. They went a scattershot approach, which is always likely to fail. And it just doesn't meet common sense. And when you get in a lawsuit, you lose a lot of rights in terms of you have to comply with the other side's demands and court orders and stuff, but you don't give up all of your freedom. You don't give up all of your privacy. And they try to balance some of it, and that's what they're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, as she said here, right? This was what I was trying. I want to make sure I'm covering these sides, but she's like, yeah, we need these untraceable the campaign. Now, the judge makes a point of like, well, then why do you need 2 years worth? In her own suit, she alleges this campaign started in August. So why the reach for 2.5 years? It was nice to see the judge really sort of acknowledge that. Here, this was the part I'm looking. Lively maintains subpoenas will help identify the larger network of individuals who perpetrated this negative media campaign against her. But according to Lively's complaint, the negative campaign did not begin until August 2024. As they point out, the beginning of the plan to destroy reputation. It is therefore unclear how communication to and from Wayfarer from 2022 and 2023 would reveal individuals who participated in the campaign that she just admitted was in August. I mean, I gotta ask, are her lawyers dumb? Like, what's happening? Why do they keep making these mistakes and fumbling the ball like this?
Here's where the mask starts to slip. Blake Lively's legal and PR moves are clashing, and the court isn't buying it. On one side, she's claiming harm and demanding privacy. On the other, she's cracking jokes with Ryan Reynolds on SNL like it's all a game. That contradiction wasn't lost on the judge. Her team argued a larger network of retaliation, but their timeline didn't match.
Testing it out. But again, all these tests are only hurting their credibility with the public, which is seemingly what she cares about the most. Last question is like, what do you think her PR team, does she have a PR team at this point, you think? And are the lawyers, who's messing this up more, do you think? Blake Lively, her maybe PR team, or the lawyers themselves in knocking her cred down even further?
That's a very good question, because I've been in this situation many times. And a lot of times your clients come to you and they say, I really want to demand everything under the sun. And you try to say, let's not do that. And then it depends how much client control you have. So it could be that the lawyers are getting bullied by the clients and the PR team to ask for more than they could get. Or it could be that the lawyers are just swinging and trying to get a big home run at the beginning. Either way, it was a PR miss. And I think it's a first shot in front of the public, and they missed.
If you're saying this all started in August 2024, why are you chasing 2022 records? It undercuts credibility and comes off as careless. And worse, it reads like media theater. The court won't reward performance over substance. This moment exposed more than a weak legal angle. It revealed a shaky narrative. That's a major crack in the foundation of her case. Round Pushpin Part 4. By the final stretch, the damage is done. Blake's legal team didn't just lose. They lost the court's confidence. The judge made it clear. This was a misfire, both legally and strategically. The court offered alternatives. Interrogatories, depositions, direct subpoenas. But Blake's side chose drama over diligence. And now they're paying for it. There's a real cost to wasting judicial time. And it's not just about bad optics. It's about losing leverage. The ruling sends a sharp warning. If you're not prepared to play by the rules, don't step into the arena. This wasn't just a loss for Blake's case. It was a credibility hit with ripple effects. Meanwhile, Justin comes out looking composed, precise, and most importantly, right. This part ends with a bang. Strategy beats spectacle every time.
Boy, have they been missing. They've been missing a lot. And I got a lot more questions for Greg. We're going to be banking content for next week because I'm going to be out in LA filming our Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni documentary, which I'm happy to announce Greg has agreed to be a part of. So happy to have you. Thank you so much for doing it. But while I'm out next week, I need to bank some content because I won't be in studio. So we got more with Greg, more legal expert. Make sure you stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for all alerts as well. Smash that thumbs up and leave your comments down below. What do you think about this? Are you surprised that Blake's lawyers are doing it this poorly? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching. We got a lot more coming your way.